Hello, and welcome back to the Knowledge Catalog's General Chemistry series. This is for grade 9. Okay, anyway, this is not like the general chemistry that you know in college, but hopefully, there are some things that we will be discussing or we will be doing here na perhaps makapagpa-improve pa ng chemistry skills ninyo. Ayan. So you can help me out by giving me comments that can improve my future videos. Also, you can support this channel by subscribing and of course liking this video in case you find it very useful. Ayan. So this is a continuation of a series. This is part of a series actually, and it's about this module is about to end actually. By saying ending, we're going to move to a new topic. If I'm not mistaken, it's organic chemistry. And as you can see, meron na lang tayong mga ganitong mga last topics. Right? So we have activity number 5, which is bonding among metals. So we're going to talk about metallic bonding, and then an exercise on types of chemical bonds, and then we will be concluding it with a summative assessment. Use the electronic structure of matter and summative assessment for chemical bonding. So these three are perhaps the last 3 activities that will be directing us towards mastering the learning competency na naka-feature dito. It's explain the formation of ionic and covalent bonds. And if you want to follow through with your learner's module, you can open them to Unit 2, Module 2, pages 31 to 37. And so let's begin. And so activity number 5, bonding among metals, has the following objectives. So for the first objective, you need to be able to make a model of a metallic bond. And then for the second objective, you have to be able to relate the properties of metals to the kind of bond that they are made of. And so you need the following materials: a paper and a pencil, as well as a periodic table. And so what do you need to do is simply the following. So listen muna to my discussion. So when it comes to ionic bonding, this is the model that we have in mind. So it is an idealized ionic or electrocovalent bonding of oppositely charged ions. There's a positive and a negative charged ion. Positively and a negatively charged ion. When it comes to covalent bonding naman, covalent bonds involve electron sharing, such as these carbon atoms when they form a diamond. So these carbon atoms right here, they share electrons so that they would be able to make themselves stable. They make up diamond in this case. Now, when it comes to a bond, and ionic bonding usually happens between a metal and a non-metal. Covalent bonding, for polar covalent bonding, usually that is non-metal. Pero may mga cases na nagko-covalent bonding din ng metal at non-metal. Okay? Whereas for metallic bonding, ang nagbo-bond dito, mga parehong metal. So the metallic bonding happens this way. So they are positively charged nuclei, tapos may mga freely moving lang na mga electrons around them. Okay, so the force that keeps these this piece of metal together, it is the attraction of these to each other. Yung pag-move din ng mga electrons around these positively charged nuclei also is one of the reasons why the piece of metal right here is kept intact. And so that is metallic bonding. Metals are known to have low ionization energy. So they are they easily lose electrons in their outermost shells, in their valence shells. Now, many metal atoms can share their valence electrons through metallic bonding through a special type special type of force. Now, this type of bonding is different from covalent and ionic bond. In what way? In metallic bonding kasi, the electrons are not moving around. Electrons are not moving around one nucleus only. They are moving across these other nuclei as well, as I mentioned a while ago. But perhaps I was not able to clarify it. Okay, so ganun siya. The electrons are moving around more than one nuclei. Okay. The positive atomic nuclei of the metal are surrounded by electrons that are moving freely throughout a piece of metal. So they are just right here, just moving around a lot. Ayan. So these electrons in metals are called the sea of electrons. So what holds the metal together are the strong forces of attraction between the positive nuclei and the freely moving electrons. Kaya nag-stay na intact yung metal. Ayan. So for your part, this is what you need to do. So what you need to do is to look at these metallic properties that I listed here, and then what you need to do is you have to explain what are these. So you just have to define them, and then siguro use the electronic structure or the particle nature of matter in defining these and explaining how these metallic properties are playing. Okay, in metallic bonding. Pwedeng ganun. So I'll give you a moment to finish this part of the session. If you need more time, you can pause this video. If you have decided to continue, that means you are ready for the next part. Okay, so based on the properties that were listed, what you need to do now is to list some uses for the following common metals. So for copper, say for instance, it is commonly used in electrical wiring, for metal sculpture, and as a component of jewelry. Now, aluminum is another common metal. Gold is also another common metal. And so iron is also another common metal, nickel, and silver. Alright, so if you need more time, you can pause this video. If you have decided to continue, that means you are ready to answer, to check your own work. Okay, so let's begin with luster. Luster is the ability of materials, of metals, to reflect light, to bend light, in a way na mag-appear sila shiny. Ayan. Malleability naman is the ability of metal to be hammered into thin sheets, and ductility naman to be drawn into fine wires. So you learned all of these actually when you were in grade 5. Kaya siguro medyo familiar sila sa'yo. Yeah, ayan. So next is conductivity. By saying conductivity, the conduction of electrical and of thermal energy. Hardness naman and brittleness are quite related, but hardness is the ability of a metal to resist pressure, whereas brittleness is the ability of materials naman to accommodate lang certain amounts of pressure and then they can break. That is a characteristic of a metal to break easily. And then the last metallic property is flexibility. Simply, some metals can be bent. Okay? It's different from the term elasticity, because elasticity means the ability of a material to be stretched and to be to return to its original form upon the release of such force that made it stretched. Yeah. Now for the uses, copper, as it was already mentioned, for aluminum, for cookware, housing, and some building materials, yung mga palanggana dati na nauso, they are usually made of aluminum. Gold naman is commonly found in jewelry, and then iron is in manufacturing of machine and equipment, and housing and building material. It is a housing and a building material. And it's actually found in many housing and building materials like siguro mga nails, yan. Even hammer, yan. Next is nickel, in the production of alloy. And the last one is silver, that's usually found in jewelry as well. Ayan, so you're done with activity number 5, bonding among metals. The second part of this session is for you to just identify what kind of chemical bonding. I'm sorry I was not able to put the word bonding. What kind of chemical bonding is present in each of these materials? So borane, calcium fluoride, potassium chloride, aluminum, copper, iodine, and carbon monoxide. So you just have to write the type of bond na present sa mga ito, okay, next to them. We have different types of bonds, remember them? Ionic, polar covalent, and non-polar covalent. Just choose among those 3 is your answer. If you need more time, you can pause this video. If you have decided to continue, that means you are ready to answer. Okay. Yeah. So for borane, ang present dyan is polar covalent bond. For calcium fluoride and potassium chloride, ang present sa kanila is ionic bond. Yan. So, medyo obvious kasi halogens and mga metals ito. So, metals, halogens which are non-metals. So, usually ionic yun. Ayan. Aluminum foil is a metallic bond. Copper is another metallic bond. For iodine, it's a non-polar covalent bond because it is diatomic. It usually results to non-polar covalent bond. And then for carbon monoxide, it results to polar covalent bond. Ayan. So do not forget that you are going to post your outputs for this, for this and the other one, for the activity that came before this. In Edmodo, your outputs must be submitted through Edmodo. Ayan. So we're done with the second part, exercise. We're now down to the last part, a summative assessment. You can just keep your notebook or your extra sheet of paper na ginamit nyo kanina and just use it for this one. All you need to do is to choose the letter of your choice. Okay, so for number 1, who proposed the probability that electrons will be found in certain locations around the nucleus of an atom? So A, Niels Bohr, B, Erwin Schrödinger, C, Ernest Rutherford, and D, Joseph John Thomson. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, that means you are ready for the second question. Question number 2, which of the following statements is not true of the atomic model of Bohr? A, the hydrogen is made up of a positively charged nucleus. B, the electron revolves around the nucleus in a circular orbit. C, the energy of the electron in each orbit is not fixed. And D, an electron can absorb or emit a quantity of radiation. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, that means you are ready to answer question number 3. Which orbital designation has the highest energy? A, 2s, B, 2p, C, 3d. I'm sorry about that. And D, 4s. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, you are ready for question number 4. Question number 4, which statement is incorrect? A, orbital is a region in an atom where an electron can be found. B, an electron can absorb energy when it jumps to a higher energy level. C, an electron can emit energy when it jumps to a higher energy level. D, filling of electrons in an atom starts from a low energy level to the highest energy level. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, that means you are ready for the next question. Question number 5. What occurs when an electron moves from high energy level to a low one? A, another electron goes from a low energy level to a high one. B, the atom moves faster. C, colored light is given off. D, this process is not possible. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, you are ready for question number 6. Which combination describes the flame color of the compound when heated? A, sodium chloride is orange. B, copper sulfate is violet. C, potassium chloride is blue. D, boric acid is red. Actually, this question is quite advanced. I did not explain this one in the previous modules. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, you are ready for question number 7. Question number 7. Element X belongs to group 1. Which of the following best describes element X? A. High electronegativity. B. High ionization energy. C. Low electronegativity. D. A non-metallic element. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, you are ready to answer question number 8. Question number 8. You have the following choices. Okay, so what will most likely happen to a non-metallic atom after ionic bonding? Number 1 is it forms a cation. Number 2 is it forms an anion. 3. It becomes stable. 4. It becomes unstable. Your choices are A. 1 and 2. B. 2 and 3. C. 3 and 4. And D. 1 and 4. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, you are ready to answer question number 9. What kind of bond will result when two identical nonmetallic atoms combine? A. Ionic bond. B. Metallic bond. C. Polar covalent bond. And D. Nonpolar covalent bond. Remember, iodine, what kind of bond will it produce? There. So if you need more time, you just have to pause this video. If you have decided to continue, you are ready for the last question. Question number 10. Choose two elements that would likely form an ionic bond. Bale, an lang yun, hindi siya n. I'm so sorry. Okay. An ionic bond among the following elements: lithium, silicon, fluorine, and neon. A. Lithium and silicon. B. Silicon and fluorine. C. Neon and silicon. D. Lithium and fluorine. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, finalize your answers. Keep them ready. We are going to check your work. Okay, so yeah, for question number 1, the answer is B. Erwin Schrödinger. Question number 2, the answer is C. The energy of the electron in each orbit is not fixed. The answer to question number 3 is C. 3D. The answer to question number 4 is C. An electron can emit energy when it jumps to a higher energy level. Okay, so I know you're quite confused. Remember, it's supposed to when an electron goes to a lower energy level, it emits energy, not the other way around. Okay, the answer to question number 5 is C. Colored light is given off. The answer to question number 6 is A. Sodium chloride is orange. The answer to question number 7 is C. Electronegativity. The answer, low electronegativity. Okay, so the answer to question number 8 is B. 2 and 3. It means it's going to form an anion and it will become stable. Why did it become an anion? Because a non-metallic atom usually receives electrons. The answer to question number 9 is D. Nonpolar covalent. The answer to question number 10 is D. Lithium and fluorine. Okay, so count the number of correct answers. Okay, and you just have to report your score through Edmodo. Okay, So, that ends the summative assessment for electronic structure of matter and chemical bonding. So far, we were able to do the following in this session. So we have activity number 5, bonding among metals, and then an exercise on the types of chemical bonds. And then the summative assessment was just held. It was about the electronic structure of matter and chemical bonding. This is the Knowledge Catalog. This is still Sir Carlos, and I hope that I'll be seeing you in the next video. Do not forget to like this video or subscribe as well to this channel. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.